And our speaker for today is Dr. Sridhar Harikrishna-Murthy. He is a scientific advisor and holds the position of scientific advisor in VNS Enviro Biotech Private Limited, Chennai. He is also the founder and CTO of Orsi Technologies, Chennai. He's also a co-founder and CTO of Srishti Raksha Product Private Limited. He is an inventor of BioChest, which is an organic waste composting system, a high capacity vessel, in vessel organic waste composting system, and also Vegan, which is domestic in vessel organic waste composting system, which converts all organic waste into natural compost without electricity. And he holds around in case of innovations, he holds around 1 patent, which has been awarded, and 2 patents have been commercialized. He has also currently filed 8 patents. Sir has many awards for his innovation. He was a national finalist for Best Innovator competition, Nat Geo Shaping the Future, for the theme of homemade biopesticide, which was conducted by National Geographic Channel in the year 2010. He has a vast research experience of about 6 years and a good number of research publications in reputed journals. One of his research publication has also been awarded as a best research article. So he has attended quite a few seminars and projects. His best paper award was entitled Isolation and Purification of Antimicrobial Pesticides from Tridax Procubins at National Level Technical Symposia on Emerging Trends in Biotechnology. Sridhar sir, we are very happy to have you as our guest speaker for today's session. We welcome you on behalf of Department of Biotechnology and the Oxford College of Engineering. So we welcome you, sir, and it is over to you, sir. Please take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this nice introduction. So very good morning to all. So this is.
Please switch on your video, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sridhar, for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion. I think the participant will get benefit of your vast research experience, and we'll be looking forward for your collaboration with our faculty members to achieve some kind of research projects in bioremediation and antimicrobial process. We cordially invite you for the collaboration, and also we welcome you for this session. And this 12-day session will warm up our faculty members' ideas and help us in motivating our faculty members and students to take up research in the biotechnology domain. And we request your kind cooperation and collaboration to all our faculty members. So wherever they approach, kindly help us in promoting the biotechnology-oriented research. Thank you for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion. Please, now you can start the session, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for, first of all, thank you for the invite. And I would also like to thank Mr. Ram Rajesh, who introduced me to you. So thank him also in this occasion. As briefly introduced about me, so I'm Dr. Sridhar, and basically I came from an Tier 2 city in Tamil Nadu. So that's a coastal city. Close to Pondicherry, so called as Kadalur. So I'm basically from Kadalur. So it's always my childhood dream to be a researcher. That's why I joined PhD. So once I joined PhD, my ambition shifted from to be a researcher to I want to be an entrepreneur, because I found that there is a huge gap between academic research and industrial research. Academic research and conversion of academic research results into a commercialized product which can serve the people. So I realized that there is a huge gap. So that once I joined PhD, my ambition switched over from to be a researcher, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So that's how the journey started. So the journey started 10 years back while doing my PhD. We will discuss this deeply and in detailed manner. So in this upcoming presentation. So let me present the PPT to you. So give me a minute. Okay, I hope the PPT is visible to everyone. So is it?
Yes, sir. Can you put on slideshow, sir?
Okay. So in this entire presentation, what we are going to, what I'm going to.
Sir,
Pardon?
it is not a in slideshow. So what can you do? First, you can put the PPT in slideshow, and then you can share the screen.
Okay.
Stop sharing, then you put the PPT in slideshow, then you share it, sir. Actually, this problem is being faced by all.
Okay. I hope now it is in.
Yes, sir. It is now. It is slideshow. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So what we are going to discuss in this entire 1 hour session is that so what are the challenges are there to be an bio entrepreneur? So especially entrepreneur is the toughest job, and to be an bio entrepreneur is it's an astonishing. If you are successful as a bio entrepreneur, then you have done an astonishing thing in your life, because always business or short term. So people always love to get their returns back in a short period. Whereas in bio entrepreneurs, especially in bio entrepreneurs, when we are working on biotechnology, to have a product, to ideate and conceptualize a product and make it a real world product takes a lot of time in the industry. So compared to any other industry, because there is a general misconception that all the startups are software. Because 90% of the startups in India are oriented towards software, because in software they can able to ideate and conceptualize and take the product into the market within 3 to 4 months. So a system will be more than enough for them. But whereas in the case of biotechnology, you should have in a sophisticated laboratory, you should have some high number of manpowers, you need skilled persons, and you need huge amount of money. So these are the hindrance, especially in bio entrepreneurship. So we are going to discuss this in detail in this presentation. So what is meant by startup? Startup is nothing but enterprises or a commercial establishment which takes your idea, novel idea, into a product to the market. So a startup should have a novel idea. So novel idea should have the end point of the novel idea should be a product or should be a service. So which will earn money for. So this is the definition for startup, which the government of India has put up in their startup India page. So any entity or any incorporation which is incorporated less than 7 years can be entitled a startup, and it should be at least an LLP form. So private limited company, LLP, or at least a partnership firm will be named as a startup. Proprietorship cannot be entailed as a startup. Another thing is you should not exceed 25 crores of turnover in any fiscal year. This last 7 years. So if you are exceeding 25 crores, then you can't be entitled as startup. Similarly, the most important thing that you should be developing a novel product. So you should have you should have a novel product and which has a capability of getting you some IP out of it. So these are the 4 initial criteria which defines whether your entity is a startup or not. So this is a startup plan, peculiar startup timeline. So we can see that this timeline has been put up for 6 years. The first 3 years for ideation and concepting. So in these first 3 years, you won't get any return out of your product. So you will be spending. So your balance sheet will be always negative. So then this is the stage you will be pumping huge amount of money into your startup, and this is the stage most of the startups fail because of financial problem, because of incompatible partners or founders. So there are multiple reasons. These are the 2 major reasons. One is lack of finance and incompatible founders. So once you overcome these two stages, that is ideation, conceptualization, and if you have some minimal viable product in your hand, if you have something to show up to your customer or show up to your investor, then you are safe. There are better chance you can get some sort of seed money from your investors. So once you got money, the financial problem will be solved. So if you can able to hold your thing for 2 years, definitely you can survive for next 10 years, because there will be a culture. You will be developing a business culture or a team culture within your team. So it will take you to the next stage. So after that, it will be validation, scaling, and establishment. So once you've done validation and once the product is launched into the market, then there is a 60 to 70% chances that you are going to win in the market. So this is a somewhat detailed graphical presentation of an overall life cycle of a startup. So you can see that the gestation is nothing but your ideation or formation of the company. So usually most of the companies or most of the startups start from a small place. For example, in my case, I have recently started a startup, that is OT Technologies. The place where it born is in my balcony. So I converted one of my balcony into a laboratory setup. So most probably it's not a biotechnology laboratory setup; it's most probably electronics and mechanical setup, laboratory setup. So where the OT Technology is born. So people usually do those initial prototypes or minimal viable products in their any non-rented space. So any space which is available for free, they utilize. So that's the initial way of saving money and contributing all the money you are spending into a startup for the development of a MVP, because MVP is the heart of your product. Without MVP, you can't able to sustain as a startup. So once you have an idea, so once you have the concept, nowadays there are chances of getting incubators, some sort of incubators. There are a lot of incubators available around the nation. So I think every city has at least 4 to 5 incubators, or every state has at least 20 or 30 incubators as of now. So there are high chances if you have an idea. So please visit an incubator and present your idea to them. So definitely, if it is worthwhile, then they will provide you some sort of space. In some cases, they have some seed fund also. So if you are lucky, you can able to get some fund also from them. So incubation is a very good path for the success. So that's the initial spaces. So if you have an idea, if you have a concept, and if you have an incubator for you, then that's great. And if you have initially you have to bootstrap your entire startup finance. So because without an MVP, nobody will be investing in your company. So it should be definitely a bootstrapping sort of thing. So you have to plan your finance at least for 2 years. So if you are starting a startup, try to plan your expenses, try to plan your finances for next 2 years. But the entire finance will be done by you or by your founders by bootstrapping. So getting loans from your neighbors, getting money from your parents, if you have jewels, that's great. So you can replace those jewels, you can pledge the jewels, and you can get the money. So this is the way of financing your startup during those first 2 years. So once you have a product, then you can show the product to the investors. There are a lot of angel investors around the city. We have venture capitals, so you can present them, so they can provide you seed money. Using the seed money, you can make the MVP, that's the minimum viable product, into a DFM, finished DFM product. DFM means design for manufacturability. So once we have a design fit for manufacturability, that is a large scale manufacturing design, then you can start manufacturing it. So, but this sort of from converting your MVP into an DFM fit product design is very costly. So we can utilize VCs, angel funds, or other investors funds during this tenure, because people will be happy to invest which can visualize something. So once you got funding from VC, then definitely they will help you to scale the company to an extraordinary position. So that's the crucial point in your entire startup journey. There's two crucial parts. That is surviving the startup for the first 2 years. That is during those concept ideation process. And the second thing is getting a VC on board. So once you got a VC or once you got an experienced businessman as an investor into the company, then they will take care of the rest of the things. So Startup India, I think people have started to utilize Startup India as it has a lot of facilities, a lot of things to facilitate your startup to grow. So again, as I already told, this is the definition they have put out in their website. And this is a recognition procedure. Then you have to get recognized. Your startup has to be get recognized by Government of India. So you have to apply it online. So you have to upload a few documents. Most probably your registration documents. If you have some GST, so all those of documents come for a company, and their balance sheet has to be uploaded. So all the sort of things has to be uploaded, and they will evaluate your application and you get recognized as startup. But all these things will happen within next 48 hours. So once you apply, so you will be they will let you know whether your startup has been recognized or not. So this is a small map. So there are around 2 years back, there are around 16,202 startups all over India. And the important thing we have to notice is that around 16,202 startups, only 182 startups are funded. That is, funded means funded by VC or investors. So the ratio is very less. So what it means? It means that this 192 startup has the potential to be an unicorn. The rest of them may survive or may not survive, but the chances of to be an unicorn is very less in this 16,202. So the statistic shows that every 2 out of 3 startups fails in India. So if you're starting a startup, then there is a 70% of chances that you are going to fail. So this is the startup journey in a single picture. So once you start climbing, there is no way out. There is no shortcut. You have to climb up, or you have to fail to death. So this is startup. This is the entire startup journey. So we have spoken about what is meant by startup. So what are the definitions? So how the startup works? So what is the life cycle of startups? But the basic criteria for a founder is they have to aware what is meant by business. So first you have to learn what is meant by business. So since most of us from academic background, even during my academic years, I don't have any exposure towards business. I don't have any knowledge how business works. So learning business is a key criteria to be an entrepreneur and to be a founder for a startup. These things, these tactics, this culture. There is a culture. There is a business. There is a tradition. There is a culture. There are a few techniques. There are a few tactics in business which differentiate between success and failure. So we have to learn all those stuff. To learn all these stuffs, you have to be associated with any sort of startup or any sort of business already running successfully. So once I finish my PhD, I always want to be an entrepreneur. So since I don't have any sort of experience or exposure to business environment, so what I decided is I decided to join a small company. So you can't able to choose an corporate, because if you are going to choose an corporate, you don't have those flexibility. So if you are joining a corporate, then you will be positioned as some sort of researcher, So if you are positioned as in a laboratory or research laboratory, so you don't get chance to meet higher authorities of other departments. For example, so if you want to start a startup, you should have aware how finance works. You should aware how HR works. You should be aware how service team works, how logistics works. So there are a lot of entities, a lot of departments in a company which works together for the good of the company. But you have to aware how all these departments works. So the best place to learn all these things is to join a small company. So then you can have a detailed where you will be there are higher chances that you will be participating in all those stuff. So that's why I joined VNS Enviro Biotech. So initially I joined VNS Enviro Biotech in Chennai as an R&D head. So after joining, after 2 months of joining, I realized that VNS Enviro Biotech is basically an environmental biotechnology company. So they usually they are into wastewater treatment. So they produce microbial cultures for wastewater treatment. They are also into chemicals and other flocculant chemicals manufacturing in wastewater treatment. They're mostly into wastewater treatment. And so once I joined them, I realized that they want to venture into solid waste management. So quickly I realized that Tier 1 cities, or especially mega cities like Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, are facing this waste management issues. So you can able to see these sort of pictures in any sort of cities. You can see these huge dumping yards closer to the cities stinking. So after seeing this, I realized that there is an opportunity for me if I come up with any sort of product to solve this problem. So if you want to come up with a product, first of all, the first thing is that you have to identify the problem. So if you are solving a problem to a person, definitely they will be buying for you. So what's the solution for this entire dumping? So the picture you are seeing is a biotest machine. So this machine has been invented by me. So this is an universal waste to composting machine. It doesn't. This is the first machine in India which doesn't use an heater for the composting process. So rest of the machines use an heater. Instead of composting, they just char the waste and give it as an output, but they claim it as a compost. So I realized that people are being fooled using this machine. So in discussion with VNS Enviro Biotech management team, I started designing this machine. So this is an aerobic composting reactor. So where the waste will be fed into the cylindrical vessel, and they will be adding the tailor-made cultures for it. So we are manufacturing those tailor-made culture. So they have to feed that culture and waste into the machine, and the rest of the process is fully automated. So there are agitated blades inside, and there are air blowers to provide enough oxygen for the aerobic microbes. So the rest of thing is automated. So just feed the waste into the machine, switch it on. It will do the work for you, and after 15 days you will get compost water. The beauty of the machine is that you don't need to wait for 15 days. So you can keep on loading into the machine. So you can load it daily, but the first 15 days you don't get any compost. After that you will get compost daily. So it's like a continuous batch reactor. So these are composting basics, and we are all aware of that composting is a natural process. The end product of compost is humus and completely textured, powdered compost out of it. So this is a basic composting process where we'll be feeding our organic waste with the presence of oxygen, microbes converted into CO2, water, heat, and compost. The ultimate thing in this thing is that this process takes time. So you need at least minimum 7 days for the entire waste to be converted into compost, which can't be done in 1 or 2 days. Whereas other companies are claiming that they can get compost in 1 or 2 days using a heater, whereas using a heater they are charring it instead of composting it. So this actual SMW practices we can witness on the roadside, we can witness on any nook and corner of the city. So this is a mission I already explained, and we actually filed a patent for this, and hopefully the government will be awarding the patent in next 3 to 6 months. It is in the awarding stage, so we have finished all those stages. Some introduction and regarding this mission. So as I already mentioned, this mission is the India's first mission which doesn't require an heater for the composting process. So since it's an 100% natural process, it works without heating and it's fully automated. So the agitation and the blowers are automated using an onboard computer. So it is in plug and play. So there is you will ship it as an entire machine. So you unload it using a crane and put it in the place, connect 3-phase electricity to the machine, and bang, it starts working. So it is orderless. It has an inbuilt biofilter. So even though the composting process is aerobic, there are high chances that sometimes it produces some sort of odor. So to remove this odor, we have an inbuilt biofilter. This inbuilt biofilter will absorbs all those odor, especially H2S, and releases only to CO2 and nitrogen. So it's an all-weather compatible system. So if rain or shine outside, it doesn't matter. Your waste keep on get composting. So it's safe and hygienic because it's fully automated. The only contact between human and the waste is during the loading process. At the same time, it is energy efficient because it doesn't have a meter in it, and it has a higher return of investment because it's competitively priced compared to other compost machine makers. And definitely, it's an eco-friendly green technology, and it's 100% natural composting process. So these sort of waste can be composted in this. All sort of organic waste can be composted. Your vegetable, fruits, meat, even your papers, cardboards. So all sort of natural organic waste can be composted using this composting machine. And these are a few pictures explaining the overall airflow process, how they are flows inside and out of the machine. So this is a crucial thing. So because of this airflow process, the composting happens. So without this, the compost doesn't happen. So let me wait quickly. So, and there's an agitation process, and this agitation process produces. This is an overall picture of how the biochar has grown. So, actually, the ideation, I started ideating it in December 2015. That is during Chennai floods. So, I got ample amount of time utilizing the time available. I got from doing the Chennai floods because during Chennai floods I was in Chennai. Sorry. My office has been closed for close to 1 week. So I got 1 week of free time. Since there is no electricity, there is no deviation from your focus. There is no mobile, there is no internet. So then this opens up a huge space for thinking. So I utilized the space and I ideated the entire machine during the Chennai floods. So after ideating and I spoken to the management by February, within the next 2 months, we came up with an demo or R&D prototype. So you can see this is the second picture. That is a prototype of that biochar machine, first prototype. So we got done all those experiments using this prototype. By April 2016, we got the first order. So this is machine which has been supplied to Kerala. That is first customer for us. So the third picture is the initial machine we can supply. So as we have standardized the entire composting process by April 2016. After that, there is no change in the process of composting. Whereas we started to hear from our customers, what our customers felt that the machine works fine, but it doesn't. They can't see it. They want more aesthetic look into the machine. So they wanted to be pretty looking. So that we started to concentrate on the overall look of it. So by July 2016, we came up with an a design for the overall look. So by October 2015, we tried it, and by finalized it by February 2016. So all these things happened within 1 year, and within 4 months from ideation, we started selling this machine. So this is a pretty quick development. So as I already mentioned, some startup or some product developments takes years, but whereas we have achieved it within 3 to 4 months, and there are some improvements. We have keep on listening to our customers. We keep on getting feedback from our customers. Using their feedbacks, we keep on improving. So there are a few changes into it, but whereas in overall thing, so we have achieved this entire standardized design by 1 year. This is another image of that. So there are multiple models for each and every place of event. For example, if you want an biogas or composting machine for a restaurant, so it has a different type of machine. So if you want for a convention hall or for a marriage hall, so there is another sort of design. So there are 2 series in it. So A series and B series, and the biochest, that is in bulk waste, large capacity machine. The biochest machine has been was a need in the market, and we have around 5 crores of sale. We have almost sell 5 crores value of machine all over India, and there are multiple machines in Tirupati. In Tirupati municipality, they are replacing our machines to convert all their market waste into compost, and similarly, there are a lot of installations all around India. After achieving that, after capturing that market, a large area composting machine, bulk capacity composting machine market, we felt that there is an opportunity for us in commercial, in household segment also. So that's how Elegant was born. Elegant is an home composting system. So what we have initially thought that we should come up with a design which doesn't need electricity for it working. So even though there are a lot of basket-based composting baskets available in the market, there are many other types of composting bins are available in the market. They also doesn't use electricity, but we decided that we should focus on efficiency, we should focus on orderless composting, and we should focus on aesthetic look. So that's the 3 area we started working on, and that's how we have designed this entire machine. So it doesn't need electricity for this process. Purely by design, we have increased the efficiency. Purely by design, we have achieved an orderless composting process. So this machine has an higher amount of aeration capability compared to any other machine in the world. So we have lowest sort of systems which can provide ample amount of oxygen into the compartments where the waste will be loaded. So using this ample amount of oxygen, ample amount of air, so the composting process becomes orderless. So we have achieved this entire thing using the design of this fluo system, and we have patented this fluo system. So this is the front view of the system, where you can see there's a single input door, and we have 2 compartments inside, and there are individual doors for each compartment and a common leachate tray at the bottom. So the machine works. So you have to start loading into compartment 1. So you will be start loading into compartment daily for next 15 days. So it takes 15 to 18 days for the compartment 1 to get filled. Once it gets filled, you start loading the second compartment. It will take another 15 to 18 days to get filled. So meanwhile, the first compartment will be 30 days age. So after within this 30 days, your waste will be converted to compost using the microbes you provide. So using this unloading door, you can unload it. So if there is any liquid or leachate produced during the composting process, it will be collected in the leachate. So since it is an odorless composting process and aesthetically looking system, you can put even into a kitchen or into a balcony. So even if you have an apartment sort of housing setup, you can put it there. You don't have any nuisance about worms, maggots, or even flies. We have an mesh-like sort of thing to avoid flies entering the compartment. You can see using in the picture. So this is about my contribution in VNS Indra Biotech. So where earlier I worked as an employee, later I converted as a scientific advisor. So for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, I am working as a scientific advisor for VNS Indra Biotech. Meanwhile, I joined my 2 other friends and we started Green Lab. So Green Lab is a startup and it was incubated in Golden Jubilee Biotech Park for Women in Sirseri, Chennai. So in Green Lab, we have started producing, developing and bioplastic utilizing microbes. So the initial work has been done at Satyabama University. So my colleague, my close friend, Dr. Johnson was working there. So we collaborated with him in his. Initially, we started working on this development of a novel bioplastic in his laboratory. So this is in Golden Jubilee Biotech Park for Women and Chennai. They have a very good incubation space. They have all the facilities, all the instruments to develop in biotechnology product. So we have utilized their facility. And, we targeted an 100% biodegradable and compostable bioplastic, and we want it to be hydrophobic because there are a lot of bioplastics available in the market. They are either starch based or either PLA based, but PLA is a biodegradable plastic, but it's not compostable. You need a sophisticated composting machines like BioChest to get it compost. Whereas if you throw it in your garden, it doesn't get composted. So it needs an extra amount of oxygen to be composted to break those bonds. So whereas another thing is PHA or PHB sort of plastic, but polyadaptive butane PHP is a highly costly one. We can't use a pure PHP as an alternative plastic. So what we got thought is to blend starch with PHP. So we started revisiting. We started working on that. And we started isolating PHP producing microbes. So the initial thought is manufacturing PHP at a lower cost. So for that, we plan to start utilizing seawater because seawater is the cheapest material. So we plan to utilize seawater, and we plan to utilize waste material for the production. So initially, we started utilizing banana pulp, paddy starch, tapioca starch, and molasses. And among them, banana pulp and molasses has produced higher amount of PHP. So the microbes, the Basis megatherium, which we isolated from mangrove forest, has produced an higher amount of pH. And the picture you can see is the pH which is produced by those microbes. So, and it has been produced using seawater as an substrate, along with molasses and some other micronutrients. So this is the entire PHP extraction process. And why we are novel is because we have used agro waste as an carbon source and the fermentation technology. So we came up with a novel fermentation technology which doesn't need sterilization. So this is the first thing in the world. So we have come up with a non-sterile continuous fermentation process which can able to produce PHP. So this is some sort of cost calculation. So we try to blend the final product with starch, and it can be used as in a PHP liner for paper cups. So these are a sort of application. The sad part of this entire startup, so I haven't elaborated the most detailed things of the startup. In GreenTap, we started it during 2017. So after 2 years, 1.5 years of R&D, and we came up with the PHP and came up with the process. Once we finished our R&D, then we started looking for investors. During this lookout process, we required our own some sort of 5 crores to set up a plant. But since conventional plastic holds a major contribution in the market, investors are afraid to invest in this startup. So we have suspended this entire startup because of the lack of funds. So your startup may die in any sort of time. So we have to be prepared for that. So we have suspended the entire operations of the startup, and we are still looking for investors, but we are not able to we can't be able to get any investors on board for this startup. So after suspending that GreenTap, I started to come up with my own startup called Orchi Technologies. So Orchi Technologies is an healthcare oriented startup, mostly towards sanitization devices. So it was incubated at TDM Kanchipuram, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Design Manufacturing. So this is an picture of those incubator made it. Orchi Technologies is developing a novel 100% physical-based sanitization device, especially for baby healthcare. We ideated this concept and product well before COVID-19. So 6 months earlier to COVID-19, we came up with this sanitization device that is 100% physical, non-recurring sanitization device, which we came up 6 months before COVID-19. After COVID-19, COVID-19 actually opened up our market for this. So this product, I can't able to reveal all those details of this product because we haven't patented it. So still we are in developing stage, and it will be named as Orchi Sucks. Orchi Sucks is an baby healthcare device, and it can take care all of your baby's articles regarding sanitization and regarding it also do some other things apart from sanitizing it. So this is the team, and myself and my wife. So I contribute to that biological part of the system, and whereas my wife she is an postgraduate in electricals and electronics and communication. So she takes care about all those electronics and all those stuff. So my growth as an entrepreneur. So how I became an entrepreneur. So I don't at my age of 28, I finished my academic research. After finishing my academic research and my PhD, I joined as an research associate at the age of 29. So while I was done, I was working as an associate. I quit research associate my RA job, and I joined VNS Center Biotech at the age of 30 as an employee. At the age of 30, I invented BioChest, and after I spent around 1.5 years after inventing BioChest in developing and standardizing the entire design. I later thought that so it's time to move further, so that I resigned my job as an employee in VNS Biotech, and I became a scientific advisor to them. That is a consultant at the age of 31. At the age of 32, I started GreenRap. After 1.5 years of in GreenRap, after suspending the GreenRap startup, then at the age of 2 years back, 1.5 years back, I started my OC Technologies company, and so I'm happy to share to you that OC Technologies will be launching 3 ranges of product in next 1 month into the market. So I hope I will be sharing this news in more detailed manner within next 15 days. So apart from this, these are few of my patents which I have filed, and I haven't commercialized it. So it takes time and money. So I'm waiting for very good investors to convert it into real life products. So this is a scientific tool within dispenser. So it has been patented, and this is again an biological component separation and purification device, especially for virology work. This is a patent which has been awarded to me. This is called in vitro stimulator for human digestive tract, and this system will stimulate the entire digestive process inside a human intestine. Another patent which I filed for one-step phage, bacteriophage purification process. This is another patent in salmonella-phages. Another one. That's it. This one. So it's always my inspiration. I think most of us would be aware of these 2 films. One is 3 Idiots in Hindi, and another one is Nanban in Tamil. And the hero is named as Kunchuk Wangdu in Hindi and Kosaksi Kosakugar in Tamil. So the inspiration for both of these films is from Sonam Wangchuk. I think most of us will be familiar with Sonam Wangchuk. So Sonam Wangchuk is one of my inspiration. I mostly inspired from Sonam Wangchuk. He doesn't develop a critical technology or sophisticated instruments. Whereas he started innovating, he started coming up with products or ideas, so which is useful for the people. So one of the simple and adorable invention or innovation for me is ice to pass. So ice to pass are water saving. I think I can show you a video of it. Okay, I will explain it. So ice to pass. So Sonam Wangchuk is from Tibet. So we all know that Tibet, even though Tibet is in Himalayas, we can term it as a desert. So you can term Tibet as Ladakh as an desert within the Himalayan range. So where you can have abundant amount of ice during the winter, whereas during the summer all those ice will be cleared by the heat, and we don't that is scarcity of water for the people to survive. So what we have thought is so he started developing ice troopers. Ice troopers are these geometrically coned ice cones. So what he has done is he will put some sort of pipe in the upstream of rivers. So using the gravity, you take the water from the upstream using those pipes, and because of this gravity, it produces ample amount of pressure. You will using that pressure, you will create an artificial fountain out of it. So once the water goes up into the air using the fountain, it freezes quickly, instantly, and falls as ice. So this ice keep on falls above and above and makes a pyramid chart of ice cones. So because of this geometry of this ice cone, the entire ice or snow melts very slowly. So even though the ice on the mountains uh, uh, melts quickly during the summer, these ice cones melts very slowly. So they can collect water from the melting of ice too fast. So this small invention, we have converted an entire village, desert village, into an agricultural land. So I always get inspired from this is one of the innovation from him. So if you can have time to go and check Swana Mangchuk innovation, there are a lot of awards he got from international arena. So you will be get inspired because of. So thank you. That's my presentation about this entire biochallenge.
Thank you, sir, for that informative, innovative talk. There were quite a few innovations from your end. So, would you be showing the video that you just now told about, or?
Uh, Give me a minute. I will try. I think my screen is visible. Is it visible to you?
No, sir. You have stopped sharing the screen.
Okay. Okay. Instead of putting it in slide share, so I show it in PPT. I think there is some issue in playing it in slide share. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir. PPT is visible.
Video?
A video is also visible, but it is not running. Yeah, it is running, sir. Yes, sir.
There's some audio out there. Can you able to hear it?
Audio is not very clear, but we can see the video running, sir.
Farming and livelihood.
That's it. I hope you have heard the voice also. I think the audio has been clear.
Not very much, sir, but that was informative, sir.
Okay, so it is available in YouTube. So you can search as Sonam Wangchuk. So you can able to find this video.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for that talk. And the forum is now open for any questions and discussion. So, participants, if you have anything related, questions related to Sir's talk, his discoveries, his innovations, or anything you wish to ask him, the forum is open. You can ask him by unmuting yourself, or you can type the question in the chat box. He would be able to answer it.
Sir, I have one query. How much is the cost of this biochest, sir?
So you are speaking about that bulk waste or home
Compost.
No, composting. There are two variants. One is for large bulk waste, that is, we have waste for more than 100 kgs, or for household. Household, there are three variants. One is 6 liters per day for large families. So for 4 to 5 members families, there is a variant for 3 liters. Another one is 2 liters. So 2 liters cost around 6,500 rupees. And then 5 liters cost about 9,000 rupees, whereas the large one, 6 liters cost about 12,500 rupees.
We can invest this in apartments, sir?
And definitely. So you can find n number of videos in YouTube. So just search biochest in YouTube. There are multiple customer reviews you can find in YouTube. So get so there are also there is a video also regarding the process or how to compose it using this machine. So take a look at all those videos. You'll be familiar with this machine. So once you get familiar, you can approach our marketing team through our. You can find our contact number in our website, vnsenviro.org. So you can reach us using that using our website.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your innovative and informative talk. So I think that's the questions. So on behalf of Department of Biotechnology and the Oxford College of Engineering, I take it a privilege to thank you for accepting our invitation and becoming one of our speakers for this session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Arun.
So you may exit, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And participants, we will be starting the next